Hello and welcome to the Masters Disc Golf World Championships in Flagstaff, Arizona. This is a PDGA Major. Presented by MVP Disc Sports. Coverage brought to you by Ace Run Productions. My name is Holly Finley.
And I'm Jennifer Allen. It's been a long week here in Flagstaff. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Right now, we're going into the semifinals with Ohn Scoggins at 28 under, Holly Finley 23 under, Stephanie Vincent 14 under, and myself 13 under.
And here are the 8 women that made it to the semifinals. Out of a field of 19. Here we are on hole 1, a 272-foot par 3. The basket is on the right side of the fairway. If you have the shot shaping or a forehand, that will set you up nicely for birdie opportunity on this hole. Otherwise, you can simply throw straight and get yourself a circle putt for 2.
First up on the box, coming from Los Angeles, California, we have Miss Ohn Scoggins!
Quick little shout out to Sarah. She always comes up and volunteers for all the events. She's announced us all week.
She sure has.
That was better. She had a little more distance and not caught up in the bush over there on the right side.
Holly Finley!
And we really don't have a lot of wind right now, but it is a totally opposite direction than we've had all week. So we have a left to right. We have been having a right to left. So I think that's really kind of helping our drives here.
Coming from Austin, Texas, we have Miss Stephanie Vincent!
I think it's fun to note that Stephanie is the only non-Innova player on this lead card.
Yes.
And she's up there putting for birdie.
Yeah, great drive.
Lovely ladies lead card today, coming from Gilbert, Arizona, we have Miss Jennifer Allen!
And a great gallery out there. We're the last to tee off today. Oh, this is early in the morning. Excuse me. It's been a long day. All of us doing a shotgun start at 8 a.m. Finally got the height over that branch I've been clicking all week.
Good distance control.
Yes. That's the line I've been trying to get all week long.
Vincent up first for birdie from about 20 feet. A little low off the front of the cage.
Yeah, this was early. We've been starting around 11 o'clock. So, gonna take us a few holes to get going probably.
Jen's birdie putt falls out left side. Ohn
Dead
gets
center.
hers to fall in.
Holly as well, right at the pole. And Stephanie and I are gonna tap out our par putts. Hole number 2, this is a downhill shot, 310 feet, par 3. You really need to hit this first gap of trees. Then you can high surf to the left and still have a look at the basket, or just try to keep going straight. Basket is tucked over on the left side.
Ohn up first after birdieing hole 1.
An early release. I don't think she meant to try to do a turnover shot there.
She makes it about halfway down the fairway.
Another little misfire. Like I said, we were used to teeing quite a bit later, so this was a early rise for us.
Vincent.
Stephanie gets it. That's pretty.
Yeah, she does. Hits that initial gap. And she is down here in birdie land.
One with my Halo Rock 3. Just trying to hold that pretty glide. One little branch, but still gonna have a look.
Ohn up first, looking to scramble for par. Using her Champion Rock 3. She sends it a bit long. That's gonna give her a 33-foot par putt. And I'm looking just to do a little turnover jumper.
That had great glide, good control.
Scoggins to save par.
She's been a little frustrated with the putting here at elevation. It changes. I find it drops a little bit faster, and also just the shifty wind. Really thought I had that one. Again, putts drop a little different, so what feels normal sometimes just still isn't enough. Stephanie has enough. Hits it hard on the pole, stays in. Great birdie. Basket catches there on the left side.
Ohn will take a bogey here on the second. And Jen dropping in her par putt. And Stephanie with the only birdie here.
Practice. It's the difference between good and great. Distractions are obstacles. Eliminate them and see how far you can go.
Hole 3, an uphill shorty, par 3, 196 feet. The basket is resting behind this dead tree. A couple of different routes you can take to get there. The biggest one is slightly on the left here. However, I prefer this middle gap that the drone is flying. You can use a putter or a mid or a speed 13. Whatever's going to get you a birdie look, just get up over on top of the hill. And that should do it.
Yeah, if you're just watching or looking online at these distances, they do not play to what you see. So 196 feet, it is drastically straight uphill though, so maybe 230 probably is what it plays.
Stephanie makes it to the top of the hill, and she has a putt for birdie.
Great redirect, and like you're skateboarding along the top of the tree up there. That's going to put Holly right underneath the basket.
It's fun to see it on the catch cam afterwards.
Ooh, finally did not make it through the gap. I've been loving this hole. Ohn going with her huge flex forehand shot and goes a little long outside in circle 2 area. I don't remember. I think I ranged it at about 90 feet.
Ooh.
Thought I had it.
Looked like it was going in.
That was closer than my other putts, I think.
Ohn from 45 for birdie. Ooh, oh, that's a lot of chains to not stay in. Stephanie for birdie from behind the bush, 25 feet. Off the front of the cage again. It's what we saw on hole 1. It's got to be frustrating.
Again, she probably felt like she had it. Like it looked good. She had good body reaction with it. It just drops.
I saw a little lizard crawl over that tree when I went up there.
There's so many lizards and horny toads out here. A lot more at McPherson than I've seen on Little America, but my son would always run around trying to chase the horny toads. They're cute. All right, Hole number 4, this is 349 feet, par 3. You want to ride this middle gap as long as you can. The sloping hill pulls you down to the left side typically. A few of us have been able to sneak a hyzer through the kind of thicker part of the fairway there on the right side, but that gives you a little bit more redirect back into the middle of the fairway. Either way, getting most of the way up the fairway is going to give you a little bid for birdie.
Using a speed 9 disc here. Comes out a little early on the left side, but carries all the way down the fairway.
Yeah, I've been down there so many times, and it's really kind of a good spot. Like, you just, good pitch up from there. Stephanie has great height control, but that's what I was talking about. The slope angle of this green or fairway is going to pull you down there to the left. And again, with the right to left wind today, I go with my TL. This went really long for me the last time we were on this course. I was able to keep it just a little bit shorter today.
Little help from the limb as well.
Just a little help. Never hurts.
Ohn's flex forehand shaping up nicely. And gets caught up about halfway down the fairway. She'll have to scramble for par here on the 4th. Little chip up putter shot. I've got about 90 feet to the basket.
You can see the wind is picking up already today.
I decided just to lay that up. I feel like Stephanie was trying to throw it in.
It was a soft bid there. It looked good. I was probably the one yelling in the back. I thought it was in.
And Jennifer for birdie.
Finally.
That is a good one.
Got it over the rim.
I didn't get that one all weekend.
Yeah, this is a fun one. I was looking over at Tita Ugaldi. She was walking with us, and she always tells me, push off your toes. It's nice of a lot of the other women were walking with us this morning. That was great.
And Jen with the solo birdie here on the 4th, and everyone else will take pars. Welcome to hole 5, a 300-foot par 3. The basket slightly on the left. I like a low hyzer skip shot with a high-speed driver just to get me some ground action and get up there inside the circle, hopefully putting for birdie.
You know, it's funny, we typically have that right to left, like the drone is showing us now, wind direction. And usually when I'm here, I always throw the turnover, take the left side here. But all week long, I've taken the right side. But that little bit of wind shift, I think I let it go just a hair early. I literally had looked at Kelson. I was like, okay, that was a good birdie. Let's not waste it. Holly makes the correction nice and wide and gets the skip. That's not always a thing here at Little America. So much lava rock. And Stephanie had been pulling this one to the right and not getting the hyzer line on it all week. So she corrects as well and is right there in circle 1.
Ohn rounding out the card. A nice low shot with a hyzer finish. It's a bit short, but could still be a birdie putt for Ohn.
I was trying to go really wide here, and I was really just looking at where I needed to go height-wise and just yanked it too high up there. Didn't even look at that tree on the right side. So that was a Toro. Switching to the AVR X3, I think it was like 125 feet or so. Get a little bit of a roll away. So there was that wasted birdie I was just telling.
Yeah, that's still a circle's edge putt just to save the bogey. Ohn with the long putt attempt through the trees.
That looked good too. I don't feel like we've had the flag flying completely out much this week. So a little windier today.
What a great bogey save putt.
I was a little motivated and angry.
Yeah, that one could have worked you.
Yep. Silly mistakes all week, I feel like.
And the wind has picked up for Stephanie, but it's in for birdie.
Beautiful putt.
That puts her at 2 under for the round.
Just a little on the right side. The tree right there in front, did that kind of get in your, like when there's a tree and kind of like my peripheral, it makes you kind of just let go a little different speed.
Oh, I have double the length as the first one.
But it's in.
In
Great
for
save.
par.
Yeah.
And Ohn tapping in her par as well.
So Holly and Stephanie so far are at 2 under, and Ohn and I remaining at even.
Why disc golf? It's the people. It's fun.
It's being in nature.
It's the lucky shots.
It's the feeling.
It's different.
It's the challenge. It's the throws.
So come out.
Grab a disc.
Or 2. And let it fly with Lone Star Disc.
Hole number 6, this is our first really long par 4, 548 feet. You can take the hyzer route on the right side or try to hit this gap in the middle. You can get some little wind and air pockets along this fairway. We're trying to land about here with our first shot, and then you're going to need an approach that sometimes seems to be pretty tricky to get it into circle 1. If you do, you're going to have a look at birdie.
Stephanie up first after birdieing hole 5. She's taking this right side hyzer route, which is slightly downhill more so than the middle route, and she's been successful with that all week.
I was actually kind of a little concerned with that right to left wind. I was worried it was going to push her down the hill, but it doesn't. Sneaking past a few of those trees and most of the way up the fairway.
Ohn actually took Stephanie's route yesterday, but is back to her original game plan.
And did you see that air bounce there? And that does stay up in the tree.
And look how high up that is.
I don't know why. I felt like so many times I've seen the air bounces on this, so I'm trying to go a little bit lower release. This is a pretty flippy turn, so it does go to the right a little faster since I kept it nice and low. I'm going with her forehand, which is usually so spot on. And that's just the negative ground play out here.
With a skip, she would have been up there with a short putt for birdie.
And we had the whole search party out here trying to knock that down.
I appreciate you telling everyone to
Hush.
stop
Yeah.
doing that while I was going for my upshot here.
I was watching. I sure wasn't going to throw any rocks, but I was watching to kind of wait till you were ready. And then definitely, it took him a minute to get that down.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
And we saw
that's
this out of
low.
Stephanie
Yeah.
yesterday. She had the same successful drive and then threw her upshot too low into those wooden piles there.
And I'm right at 200 feet here, which is a shot I love. But I was kind of thinking about that wind. And that's a new putter I just put in the bag this week. So,
Thanks, Haley King.
yep, let it go wrong. That was my bad. Stephanie corrects that, and she is going to put herself up underneath the basket.
We've seen Stephanie's successful short game all weekend, which has for sure contributed to earning her a spot here on the lead card. Jennifer for birdie, it's in.
Finally trying to correct for these dropping putts, getting a little extra height on it. You were maybe right outside circle 1.
Exactly. And it's a slightly uphill putt, so I've decided I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, that's a good safe play. Just a little bit on the right side chain there.
Ohn taps in for her short par here on hole 6, as well as Stephanie. And Jen with the only birdie here. I think think I'm going to need some new shoes after this week.
And new
The tread
frisbees.
on the bottom is shot, completely shot.
All the discs need a bath.
Let's check out hole 7, a very fun downhill par 3, only 194 feet. Say the majority of people are going to do a standstill with a putter or a mid. I actually like a speed 7 and just send it up high in the air and let it spike down into the green. I've seen some success with straight shots, but it seems to be a little tricky for the four-handed and left-handed people on this hole.
Definitely, with that OB road right behind. I take my AVR X3 and just kind of loft it up there. And that went so much further than I thought it did. I just literally felt like I fluffed that.
Didn't you did a short walk up just now, didn't you?
Yeah, I do take a 3-step versus the standstill, but I don't feel like it gives me much power.
Stephanie just
Yeah, we both
sends
carried.
hers.
Yeah, I don't think either of us really felt like we threw that hard at all. You had a lot sharper angle in, and that was parked, but it doesn't go too far down, just off the cliff of rocks. With being a shotgun start, Ohn has been having some difficulty on this hole, so she walked all the way out and threw this until she got that line. So she looked back and she's like, it was worth it. On
like
parking it. So
like
I
that extra work.
was like 50 feet maybe or so. Pretty big uphill.
That's a good bid. Drop in par.
Didn't want to go too long with it.
No harm there. Stephanie's got a birdie look from 45. Oh, she pulls hers a bit right.
Yeah, I think we were just really trying to focus on getting up the hill. It really felt like it was a steep incline from over there. So giving it a little extra push, hits nice and high, drops down in the basket for saving par.
I'm looking at a birdie putt from 15.
And that's, if you notice both of those putts from down low hitting up on the high chain, that's where you want to hit. If you
where I'm
ever,
aiming.
Yes, exactly. If you're ever putting uphill like that, you don't want to hit low like you're horizontally across from the basket. You want to hit right where Holly and Stephanie did.
Ohn with the CTP. Drop in birdie. Jen tapping in the par.
And now we went downhill, and now it's time to go right uphill. Hole number 8, this is 183-foot par 3 through the trees here, and you want something that's going to go just a little bit to the left once you crest the top of this rocky mound. Again, going drastically uphill, probably plays about 230 or so. Very rocky green. You really have no clue what it's going to do when your disc hits that. Another kind of difficult hole we have several lefties in our group as well as some forehand throwers.
I'm using a mid here. Just focusing on hitting the gap and getting over the crest of the hill, which can give me a look at the basket. Ohn up second. It's a little inside, and she's caught up in that corner. That could be tricky.
Yeah,
she could
almost sneaks
stick an
through.
arm out and do a little sidearm putt.
I actually changed discs because I had went long, and I was kind of good hopper. I was trying to really change up because everything was going so long yesterday, so I was trying to throw a little softer today, and it was really kind of getting my timing off. But Stephanie, with beautiful timing, correcting from hitting first available the last time we played here.
And you can see Ohn's probably 50 feet away, pinched off around this corner.
An awkward stance on the rocks. This is one of those holes you feel like you're going to fall if you step wrong, but she has no problem putting it underneath the basket.
Stephanie Vincent for birdie from 25. She's
Such
in.
a beautiful putt. It's so smooth, such a good, clean release, just like her upshots.
I'm looking at a birdie from 18.
Kicking. I think you kind of kicked one down the hill there.
Yeah, it was in my footing area.
Didn't mean for it to roll down the hill, but
Jen in for birdie after a crazy rock skip. It's fun to watch it from the catch cam.
yes, it is. It's always crazy coming up, and you're like, how did it get there? I feel like I did that all week. We're all thankful for our caddies.
Hole 9, a 423-foot par 4. The basket is actually over to the right. I like the gap that the drone is flying through. You can either throw a straight shot or an anhyzer or a shot that flexes out. There's a lot of different landing zones that you can find success with here. What you don't want to do is pull it too far right and end up in the midst of all these trees, which could be challenging to get a birdie look.
Definitely feel like the left side landing zone makes for a second approach a lot easier than the right side. You're hitting that gap just perfectly to get a lot of penetration straight ahead. Gonna leave for a little bit more open and shorter upshot. I'm going high with the TL and I pull it right again.
Oh, it's going places though.
It does, but I want it to hyzer out and I'm just pulling it a little too hard.
Stephanie with a nice high turnover, hitting the beautiful
Oh,
gap.
yeah, that was such a pretty flight.
And that's an ideal shot and landing zone. We've seen Ohn play the similar shot as well, just hitting this gap and then letting the disc hyzer out.
And I think if I was Ohn, I would try a forehand.
I'm surprised she hasn't.
Yeah, I never asked her what her thought process was on that, but I feel like this is a forehand hole for sure.
And from here, you've got about 180 to 125 into the green.
Gets a little bit of a roll downhill, but they have a down tree that kind of keeps it from going all the way off the cliff for us. I didn't actually realize what a nice little kind of flat area on that second layer of this hill.
And I've got either a hyzer over that short tree or a little Annie. I decide to go with a jump putt, but I don't quite put enough on it. So now I've got maybe a 30-foot putt for birdie.
And this is a rare thing, I think even almost more than me these days. But she gets a nice redirect that's still going to put her just about 28 feet or so. But Stephanie and I definitely don't do forehand often. And I'm going with the little patent pending turnover with my Yeti here, trying to just be on the right side of that big tree and hit it exactly like I drew it up.
Oh, that's a beautiful flight.
I think it was about 130 away, 125, something like that.
Yeah, even though your drive got caught up on those trees, it's still in a great spot.
Yeah, it
and
just
got some good distance.
Never know where you're going to land over there. And it doesn't really look like a death putt, but from that camera view, it kind of does.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I kicked down the hill, so now I've got about a 25-foot comeback.
Oh, very solid bid to try to save that.
Ohn's putting for birdie. It's in. That's a two-stroke swing. I don't watch the scores, but you know, it's hard to not realize when you're about to bogey
Tap
and
in.
someone else
Yeah.
has got a birdie.
That is the only time I realize it. Not so much the one stroke, but that two stroke, you're always like, oh.
Stephanie Vincent with a birdie look after help ricocheting off a tree, and that should have
Looks so
been
pretty.
in.
Just bounced wrong off the rim there.
And you with an easy birdie.
I had some good birdies this week, but I just kept finding some silly mistakes to erase them all.
And
But
after
that's
the front
it.
nine, look, Holly, Stephanie, and Jennifer at 3 under par for the round, and Ohn currently at 2 under par for the round.
Thanks for joining us for the front nine. That was the semifinals here in Flagstaff, Arizona. Stay tuned for the back nine coming soon.